Hey y'all, welcome back to another new video. Today we are going to be talking about the founding of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I know we get a lot of stuff in the series about the founding, but JKR has filled in even more gaps since the series ended, so that's what we're going to be going through today. Hogwarts was founded in the 10th century by the four greatest magical people of the time, and this is of course Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. And they joined together to do this because they all shared the dream of creating the greatest magical school in the world. They each got to pick a house that would value the specific traits that they most wanted to nurture. And so for Godric Gryffindor, this is bravery and chivalry. For Rowena Ravenclaw, this is wit and intelligence. For Helga Hufflepuff, this is kindness and loyalty. And for Salazar Slytherin, this is cunningness. And at this time, it was super dangerous to be magical because it was a very religious time period. People viewed witchcraft as being from the devil. So that is why they decided to build Hogwarts way out in the Scottish Highlands, where it was very unlikely that any muggles would see it being constructed or even accidentally come across it. And then it was protected with enchantments. So if a muggle does come across it, it's just gonna look like a big pile of ruins, and there's like warning signs saying it's dangerous all over the place so that they won't really like wander into it. Hogwarts has many secrets, so many in fact that even Dumbledore has said that he did not know all of them. There are questions that were left unanswered by the founders, such as where did the Room of Requirement come from and why did they decide to build it on the edge of a forest full of like evil creatures? Even the name of the school is a bit of a mystery. The legend goes that Rowena Ravenclaw was the one that picked the name because a wart-covered hog led her to a cliff by a lake in a dream. However, like I said, this is just legend and it's unsure if it's, legend or the truth. So originally the four founders were all very close friends. In fact, Godric Gryffindor and Salazar Slytherin were the closest of the four. But this all changed when it became clear that Slytherin harbored a lot of prejudice towards muggles and muggle-born students. He was so distrustful of muggle-born students that he actually didn't think that they should be allowed into Hogwarts. And so there was a falling out between the four of them, well basically between the three of them and Slytherin. And it got so heated between Gryffindor and Slytherin that they may have even actually dueled. But either way, Slytherin ended up leaving. However, before leaving, he did construct a chamber, the Chamber of Secrets, and then he didn't tell the other founders he was doing this, and he sealed it so that the only person that would be able to open it was the true heir of Slytherin. And inside of it, he sealed the basilisk, of course, and this creature would only be able to be awakened by the true heir of Slytherin and would only listen to the true heir of Slytherin. So, talk about holding a grudge. And obviously the purpose of this was so that the true heir of Slytherin would be able to purge, aka kill off, all of the muggle-born students at the school. Rowena Ravenclaw was the greatest witch of her time. She was famous for intellect and wit all around the magical community of the whole world. And she possessed an enchanted diadem, which is the tiara. And this was said to make whoever was wearing it even smarter than they already were. Basically enhances their intellect. And she was smart without her diadem, but with it she was like the smartest person ever pretty much. And her daughter, Helena Ravenclaw, felt that she had really big shoes to fill and that she couldn't live up to the standards that her mother had set. And she was really jealous of her mom's skills. And she thought, well, maybe if I steal the diadem and I have it, then I'll also be a great witch. And so she stole the diadem and ran away from Hogwarts. So years later, when Rowena Ravenclaw was on her deathbed, she sent a young man to try and find her daughter, hoping that he would bring her daughter home to her and she would get to see her one last time before she died. But Ravenclaw didn't know that this man was actually obsessively in love with, infatuated with Helena. And so he did find her in an Albanian forest and he tried to come on to her, but she rejected his advances, and because of this he actually killed her. And we don't know the name of this young man, but we do see him in the series and we do know him by his name that he goes by as a ghost. And this was actually the Bloody Baron, was the man that killed Helena. Rowena died soon after hearing this news, and it is said that it was her broken heart that pushed her over the edge. Helga Hufflepuff has a cheerier tale, which is fitting for a Hufflepuff, and she was actually the one that got the elves to be the people that worked in the kitchen. She did this so that free elves could have a paid job where they would be treated fairly rather than cruelly like they were pretty much everywhere else. And she also wrote many of the recipes still eaten today at the feast. She was very good at food charms. Godric Gryffindor was known as the best duelist of his time, and he would duel not only with a wand but also with a sword, aka the Sword of Gryffindor, which has been left behind as a relic and is the relic that Harry uses to destroy a few Horcruxes. It's the only relic that Gryffindor left behind. As the four founders neared old age, well, I think it was just the three. As the founders reached old age, they knew that they were going to have to find a way for the legacy to continue, because up until then they'd been hand sorting students, and they knew like, we're going to pass away and we want to make sure that students are still able to be sorted into houses. And so Godric Gryffindor always wore this like old dingy wizarding hat, and so the three founders that were left decided they were going to enchant the hat so that it would place students in their proper houses, and thus the sorting hat was born. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video and that it maybe helped you guys understand a bit more about how Hogwarts was founded. If you have any requests for longer YouTube videos, I would love to hear them in the comments. And until next time, bye y'all!